How's everyone doing? Today I'll be doing a video on the top 10 horror Blu-rays. And as with any top list, this is subjective, but definitely let me know what you think of my choices and what movies would be on your list for the top 10 horror Blu-rays. And let me know if you've seen these movies and what you think of them as well. Now I'm basing this on a multitude of factors, including the quality of the movie, the quality of the transfer of video and audio, the special features, and as well as the packaging. I'm not saying that these are the best horror movies ever, but these are the best horror Blu-ray releases in my opinion right now. But let's go ahead and get to the list. At the number 10 spot is the UK Blu-ray Steelbook for An American Werewolf in London. This is just an all-time classic werewolf movie. This is my all-time favorite werewolf movie, and it's Jonathan Landis classic. I just love that cover as well. Perfect artwork, and the back cover too with the Howling of the Moon, and that werewolf transformation scene is just an all-time classic scene. One of the best transformation scenes ever. And I was actually lucky enough to get this signed right here by David Naughton, which makes it even cooler. I love the Steelbook to begin with, and the fact that it's a unique, instead of the typical vertical one, it's the horizontal design. Really adds to it. And there's some interior artwork as well when they're walking through the moors, which is a really cool scene, right when they get attacked. And I really enjoy the humor in this as well. It's a great horror classic and a fantastic addition. Tons of good special features as well. A pretty good transfer. So this makes it for the number 10 spot for Best Horror Blu-ray. And at my number 9 spot for Best Horror Blu-ray is the Blu-Ray Digibook for The Exorcist. William Friedkin directed, based on William Peter Blatty's novel. Just a classic movie right here. The quintessential Exorcist and possession movie. And of course, Max von Sydow, Ellen Bernstein, and Linda Blair. Fantastic acting jobs, especially from Linda Blair being so young at that point. And oh, that scene is just so eerie. Absolutely love it. And it's got great dramatic pacing. It's a horror movie with great dramatic elements that I think really works well. It's not all about the jump scares and in-your-face action, but it does have a lot of creepy imagery all throughout the film. And this is a fantastic release. This is the extended director's cut and original theatrical version on here. And it looks beautiful. I've never seen The Exorcist look this great. It stays true to the original look and feel of the film, but it looks so much crisper now, and it looks fantastic. And this is a 2-disc edition right there, and I was actually lucky enough to get this signed as well. And actually somebody sold this, and I was lucky enough that they had it personalized and they had the same name as me, so I had to get it. Right there, signed by Linda Blair. And there's the second disc right there. And I love these digibooks. Tons of behind-the-scenes information about everybody involved in the film. Great photographs. A lot of stuff that you've never seen before. All kinds of different shots from the movie. I absolutely love these digibooks. So much great information if you're a fan of the film. And a fantastic horror film. One of the earlier horror films that I saw, and it definitely freaked me out when I was younger. All-time horror classic. And at my number 8 spot for Best Horror Blu-ray is the Nightmare on Elm Street collection, right there. Very simple design. The only thing that's holding this back from being higher on the list is the fact that the packaging isn't, overwhelming. It's not something you would expect for an edition like this. I was expecting like a box set, something a little bit more than just the standard Blu-ray keep case inside the slip case right there. And it is 5 discs in total right here. And it goes over all the films. Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Dream Master, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Dream Child, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and disc 5 is a retrospective Fear himself, the life and crimes of Freddy Krueger. And there is just a bunch of special features on here as well, especially for the first film. And this is just a classic horror franchise. Freddy Krueger, classic horror icon as well. And I'll go ahead and open this up. There you go. It's just the discs right there on swing trays. And a couple of the ones have 2 movies on each disc right there. And I will say there's some very good transfers on here as well, so it does look and sound good. And of course, this is a great collection to have. I think a must-have for a horror fan. And in my number 7 spot for Best Horror Blu-ray is the UK Steelbook for John Carpenter's The Thing. This is just stands out. I love the movie. It's a very cool, unique looking steelbook. Again, it's the horizontal design. It's the typical vertical one. And the thing right there, the title is debossed, and you have the green melding alien face right there, which is a little bit interesting because it wasn't green in the movie. And then on the back, you have the typical glow face design, which they didn't use the full cover for the back right there. They could have added a little bit more, but it's still very cool to see the classic shot right there and something unique and different. And the artwork kind of wraps around as well. And there is interior artwork. They're out there in the snow, and there's Kurt Russell. And for me, this is my all-time favorite film. It's just a horror sci-fi classic. John Carpenter's directing, Dean Cundey's cinematography, Rob Bottin's practical effects, and Ennio Morricone's score. The acting from everybody involved. Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley, Keith David. Oh, blown away by this movie. The feeling of paranoia, isolation, everything works about it. Incredibly atmospheric film, and I love movies set in the snow. An all-time classic right here, and this edition is great as well. Tons of special features on here, way better than the US Blu-ray release. And it is my all-time favorite movie, so I had to put it on the list. And at my number 6 spot is the UK Blu-ray Steelbook for Return of the Living Dead, Dan O'Bannon's classic. This is just a beautiful cover. The cover over here in the US is completely different and looks very generic, and this is that classic cover artwork that is just fantastic. The theatrical poster artwork, and oh, love it. And then even on the back they have some new artwork, kind of comic style artwork of it right there. That's pretty cool. I really like that. And what makes this edition really stand out is the fact that it has the More Brains Return of the Living Dead documentary on here. In the US, they have that as a whole separate release. So that wasn't on the Blu-ray release for the US. So that just blew me away. I had to get it. Nearly 5 hours of killer bonus features. More Brains Return of the Living Dead. More Brains 2 hours of bonus features. The origins of Return of the Living Dead. The FX of the Living Dead. Party Time. The music consultant Steve Pass and the 45 Grave singer Dina Cantor. So that's pretty cool. Exclusive Ernie's notepad in here as well. A 20-page reproduction notebook. This is an all-time horror classic right here as well. Great horror comedy. Absolutely love this movie. I never get tired of watching this one. And the soundtrack is awesome with the punk soundtrack. Really works well, especially with the characters involved. And it's a great zombie movie. One of the best zombie movies out there in my opinion. Thoroughly enjoyable. Great horror elements. Great comedy elements. Everything works for it. Incredibly creepy, atmospheric, especially in the beginning where the certain things come back to life. And Tarman. Tarman is a classic zombie. And I'll go ahead and show you the inside as well. Here's the reproduction notepad with all kinds of cool stuff in here. Lots of information. And I love when they include booklets and things like that. Really appreciate that extra information. There's the disc artwork, and then there's some interior artwork. Go ahead and show you behind the disc as well. Oh, can't show you that. There's trash. And that famous scene, I'll have to cover that up, even though it's just a drawing. And the transfer is great, it looks great, it sounds great, and just tons of bonus features. It's a must-own for horror fans. And again, a classic zombie movie, and definitely worthy of being on the top horror Blu-ray list. And at my number 5 spot for top horror Blu-rays is the Criterion Collection release for Rosemary's Baby, based on Ira Levin's novel and directed by Roman Polanski. Just an all-time classic. Mia Farrow, John Cassavetes, Ruth Gordon, everybody played the roles just perfectly. Incredibly creepy and atmospheric. I love the sense of paranoia. Just the all-time quintessential satanic cult movie. And I love the ending as well. Oh, it definitely stays with you. And I love the camera angles and the shots. That fisheye lens, the shot looking out the peephole. So many great shots in this one. The cinematography is fantastic in here. And this has just a ton of special features on here. Newly restored digital transfer approved by director Roman Polanski. The Criterion Collection always does a great job with their releases, especially with their special features. And there's a booklet, of course, as well. There's the disc artwork. I'll go ahead and show you the thick booklet right here. And just tons of information. Again, I really appreciate when they put booklets in here like this. And I really appreciate when non-steelbook editions, just regular keep case Blu-rays, have interior artwork. Really elevates this release as well. A very fitting score as well. Roman Polanski's directing was top-notch here. Again, just an all-time horror classic and a fantastic release for it. And my number 4 spot for top horror Blu-rays is the UK Arrow Blu-ray release for Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead. And there are 3 discs in total in here. It has the theatrical cut, the director's cut, and the Argento cut as well, and just tons of special features. I absolutely love these Arrow Blu-ray releases, the reversible covers, the posters, all the special features. I like the window pane design as well, so you can choose what cover you want right there. And there's some of the cover choices and special features right there on the back. And again, classic film, one of the most recognizable zombie films of all time. Romero classic, the original Dead trilogy. This one and Night of the Living Dead were always the ones I watched the most growing up, but this is the one that I kind of fantasized about when I was younger. You know, zombie apocalypse and living in a mall with some of your friends and just, you know, killing zombies and just hanging out in the mall. I always thought that was an awesome idea, and I always kind of hoped for the zombie apocalypse. And tons of special features on here. Commentary of George Romero, Tom Savini, Document of the Dead, lost interviews and deleted scenes, Fan of the Dead. And there's also a For Every Night There Is a Dawn collector's booklet. Just tons of special features on here. An all-time classic zombie film. And slides right out. And I'll go ahead and show you the booklet first. And you know I appreciate the booklets, as I've mentioned. They provide a lot of information. Sometimes they'll show behind-the-scenes photos that you may have never seen before, or tell you about the filming process and behind-the-scenes information and things that happened on set. And here's the poster right there. And it's a double-sided poster, so you can choose which design you like better. Definitely this design in my opinion. But it's a really nice added touch right here with the poster. I really like that. I wish more releases would have these posters right here. And Arrow just does a fine job with their releases. Just a fantastic addition. Again, there's the other artworks you can choose from. And I'll go ahead and... there you go. And Dawn of the Dead had great social commentary and great character development as well. You really got invested in the characters. And this looks great, it sounds great, fantastic transfer, tons of special features, all-time classic zombie film, one of the best ever made, and a fantastic horror Blu-ray release right here for the Arrow UK Blu-ray release of Dawn of the Dead, the original. And in my number 3 spot for top horror Blu-rays is the Blu-Ray Digibook for Jaws. An all-time classic movie, transcends genres. I definitely consider it a horror film because it was absolutely terrifying and horrifying. You have a great white shark attacking the island city of Amity, and again, John Williams' score in here was perfect. It really heightened the tension, and this is just an amazing release for this film. It's the Universal 100th Anniversary Collector Series Digibook right there. Concludes the Blu-ray and DVD, and tons of special features on here. The Shark is Still Working, the impact and legacy of Jaws, and the making of Jaws 2-hour documentary interviews with cast and crew, Jaws the restoration, and it gives an all-new in-depth look at the intricate process of restoring the movie, and this looks fantastic on Blu-ray. Oh, I've never seen it look better. It blew me away, honestly. Deleted scenes and outtakes from the set, storyboards, production photos. Just tons and tons of special features on there, and a fantastic looking digibook. And again, I really love these digibooks. There's the Blu-ray right there, and there is the DVD in the back. And there's an advertisement for Shark Week, very fitting. It also has the ultraviolet digital copy code on here on the back. And again, I just love these digibooks. All the behind the scenes photographs, all the different cool poster artwork from all around the world. Just monologue excerpts, tons of information, cast bios, talking about shooting the film, and sometimes you'll find out little tidbits of information about the film you may have never known about while they were shooting the film, certain things that happened and on set. Just an all-time classic. Steven Spielberg, John Williams, great combination right there. Steven Spielberg did a fantastic job directing this, and a great cast with Robert Shaw, Roy Schreider, and Richard Dreyfuss. An absolute classic film, and this definitely made me not want to go in the water again. Again, the great white sharks, attacking people and them trying to stop it. You're going to need a bigger boat. So many classic lines and memorable moments in here. Great acting, great score, great suspense all throughout. And this movie inspired just a whole slew of shark attack movies, fish attack movies, all kinds of creatures from below the sea kind of movies, and it's just a fantastic movie and a fantastic addition for it as well. It's digitally remastered and fully restored from the high-resolution 35mm original film elements. This had to be on the list. And in my number 2 spot for Best Horror Blu-rays is the German Blu-ray Steelbook for Psycho. An all-time classic film. Again, I consider most of these ones all-time classics. This one transcends genres. Alfred Hitchcock's directing, a fantastic score. Anthony Perkins really blew me away in here. Janet Leigh as well. The classic shower scene right there on the front cover. Beautiful matte finish. Fantastic cover choice. And this is a movie that I saw in film school that just really blew me away. I had never seen it before that point, and when I was watching it, I had never seen a movie do what this movie did. You're following this one main character, and all of a sudden, so the whole thing just turns and flips, and I was just shocked by that, and it really worked well, and I loved the twist. This is a movie that you can watch over and over again, and it doesn't get old. The performances are top-notch. There is no interior artwork, but the transfer is great. Looks and sounds fantastic, and some good special features on here as well. And I love the cinematography for this film and all the suspense and thrills all throughout the movie. And it's incredibly creepy and atmospheric. And I really love the Bates Motel, the look to it and the feel to it. And the awesome shot right there from the shower scene Scream. And I actually prefer this Steelbook over every other country's Steelbook edition for this one. It's just a really nice shot. And I love the horizontal design as well, making it a little bit more unique. And it has a bunch of bonus materials as well. And it looks and sounds fantastic. And this is just an all-time classic that inspired a whole slew of movies. And my number 1 spot for Best Horror Blu-ray is the Alien Anthology box set right here. Fantastic edition. I got the UK one because I prefer the Digipack design to the US one. The US one I didn't really like as well with those tight sleeves. I think this is a better presentation. Just a classic franchise, and Ridley Scott directed the first one, Alien, and Dan O'Bannon wrote the screenplay for that as well, and he directed Return of the Living Dead, which I already showed on this list. And the sequel, Aliens, was directed by James Cameron, and for me, I love Aliens first, then Aliens second, and then Alien Resurrection third. I know a lot of people don't like Alien Resurrection, but I loved it. And Aliens 3, I still enjoy it, but it's my least favorite of the series. Charles S. Dutton was fantastic in that. Love Lance Henriksen in this. Sigourney Weaver is fantastic as the heroine right there. Classic characters, so many classic scenes, and of course the Xenomorph. And I love the foil design to the cover as well. And tons of special features on here. It includes the theatrical and alternate versions of each film and a whole bunch of other great special features. I'll go ahead and slide that out. I still have the plastic on there to protect the outer slipcase. And there you go. And it opens up like so. And it continues to open up like so. It's a 6-disc set. And keep opening up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's pretty tall, but I really love the way this folds out, this Digipack design. Way better than the US release in my opinion, as far as the packaging. And each disc has unique artwork, which I appreciate. And again, it does have a little booklet as well, the viewer's guide. And so there you go, beautiful set and a must-own for horror fans. Just a great horror sci-fi franchise. One of the most recognizable alien creatures out there. Incredibly terrifying and creepy. All the movies have great atmosphere. I know a lot of people don't like Alien Resurrection, but I really enjoy it. I like the cast as well. Winona Ryder, Ron Perlman. I'm a big fan of Ron Perlman. I think he's a very underrated actor. Great actors in all the movies. Tom Skerritt, Charles S. Dutton, Ron Perlman. And Paul Reiser was a fantastic villain as well. Michael Biehn. Everything about every one of these movies really works well for me. The mother of all Blu-ray collections right there. And did I mention there's a ton of special features on here? 60 hours of special features plus new extras exclusive to Blu-ray. And this definitely deserves to be at the number 1 spot for Best Horror Blu-rays. So there you go. There are my top 10 horror Blu-rays. Definitely let me know what you think of my list and what ones you would have on your list. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.